What's up, everyone? It's Antonio here bringing you another episode in the series of how many shares of a certain company do you need to own to make $1,000 a month, $100 a month, and even $100 a week. So in this episode, we will be going over AMT. This is actually a list that you guys have been providing. So there's a company I haven't covered in the past, or you guys don't see it on the list, let me know. I'll be happy to add it to the list. We'll eventually get to it. But what we do is we pull up the company in Seeking Alpha, look at the charts, read a little bit about the company profile, then we look at the dividend summary, pull up the calculator, crunch some numbers for $1,000 a month, $100 a month, and also $100 a week. And then we wrap up the video by looking at the dividend yield, showing us if currently at the current moment is the best opportunity to enter the stock based off the dividend yield, or if in the past it was a better dividend yield entry point. But in this episode, guys, we will be going over AMT. So let's go ahead and go up to Seeking Alpha. All right, guys, so we're here at Seeking Alpha. You'll see its ticker symbol AMT, American Tower Corporation. It's currently trading about $157.68. Let's go ahead and pull up the company profile, which you'll see here. Company profile is showing American Tower, one of the largest global REITs, is a leading independent owner, operator, and developer of multi-tenant communications real estate with a portfolio of nearly 226,000 communication sites in a highly interconnected footprint of US data centers facilities. If we look at the sector, they are in the real estate sector. Then industry, telecom, tower REITs. Employees are about 6,391 employees. They were founded back in 1995, so quite a bit of while ago. You can actually visit their site at americantower.com. This actually used to be in my portfolio. I ended up consolidating some of my positions, but this was such a great position that I held. They typically raise their dividend almost every single quarter, but if we look at the year to date, guys, you'll see that they are down about 26.55%. If they look at the 1 year, they are down about 28.35%. On the 5 year, guys, they are up 9.17%, and then on the 10 year they are up 111.54%, and since they've been publicly traded, they are up 603.09%. I believe this does not include the dividends, which they've been growing almost every single quarter. If we look at the 52-week range, you'll see that the 52-week low is at $155.63. So we're getting very close to the 52-week range, or I guess the 52-week low is where it's currently trading. 52-week high has been $235.57. And then FFO is at 9.74, and then we got 16.19 dividend rate. We do have $6.48 on the yield, is a 4.11%, and then on the market cap is a 73.50 billion market cap on this REIT. Let's go ahead and pull up the dividend scorecard, where we can look at a little bit about the dividend summary. So again, they are a REIT, and then dividend summary. One thing I do want to point out with the REIT is that they won't become qualified dividends if you hold them for a while. And so if we look at the dividend yield, is a 4.11%. Pretty good entry dividend yield for a REIT like that. Annual payout is a $6.48. Payout ratio is at 65.84%. 5-year CAGR, so very juicy 5-year CAGR of 16.42%. That means how much they've been growing their dividend the past 5 years. Dividend growth has been 10 years, and they do pay out quarterly, which they pay out $1.62. And again, they typically have been almost raising their dividend almost every single quarter, so this would slightly change depending if they do more raises in the following quarters. But let's go ahead and pull up the calculator so we can start crunching some numbers, guys. First one we do want to figure out is we want to actually see how much you'd have to own of this stock if you wanted to make $1,000 a month. I think $1,000 a month is a great goal or great milestone to achieve. So we want to make $1,000. There's 12 months in a year, so you multiply it. So annually you do need to make $12,000 to achieve this. You take those $12,000 divided by the annual payout that they do pay out, which is $6.48, and then that'll give you the total number of shares you need to own to achieve that. And then you'll see if we multiply that total number of shares, you would multiply it times $157.68, which is the current share price of American Tower. So at this point in time, if you wanted to start making $1,000, you'd have to drop $292,000 in this company at the current share price, and you'd be roughly making about $1,000 every single quarter, I guess every single month. But of course, if you've been investing for the long term and been reinvesting the dividends, you would definitely require a lot less capital, especially because your yield on cost would be a lot higher than 4%. But yeah, quick way to calculate this is take the $12,000 you need to make annually, divided by the dividend yield here, which is 0.0411. You'll see we get roughly around $291,970, which is a rough estimate of how much you'd have to invest. Let's go ahead and do the next one, which is $100 every single month. This one's a little bit more achievable because you do require a lot less capital. You could actually take the previous answer divided by 10 and you do get it. But since we do have the calculator, we'll go ahead and walk through the steps just for anybody that's interested in the math. It's the same process. So we want to make $100, every single month. There's 12 months in a year. So annually, we need to make $1,200. Divide that by the annual payout, which is $6.48. You'll see we roughly get about 185 shares that you'd have to own. And then if you multiply it times the current share price, 185 shares times $157.68, you'd have to have roughly about $29,200 invested in this, and you'd be roughly making about $100 every single week. But let's go ahead and do a quick way to do this. 1,200 you need to make annually, divided by the dividend yield again, and you'll see we roughly get about 29,000 as well. So let's go ahead and do the last one, guys, which is $100 every single week. This is a little bit more achievable than $1,000 a month because you do require a lot less capital. But imagine getting $100 every single week to, if you're retired and you're living off dividends, get an additional $100 from this company. That would be very, very great. But anyways, $100 you want to make every single week. There's 52 weeks in a year, so we'd have to multiply that. So annually, we need to make $5,200 annually. You actually take the $5,200 divided by the annual payout, which is $6.48. That means we have to have about 802 shares of American Towers to achieve this. If you multiply that times the current share price, $157.68, you'd have to roughly invest about $126,533, which is a little bit more than definitely $100 a month, but a lot less than $1,000 a month. And then, of course, quick way to calculate this, take the 5,200 divided by the dividend yield, which is 4%. And you'll see we roughly get $126,520 invested in this, and you'd be roughly making $100 every single week, guys. But this is the calculations, guys. Let me know if you guys are invested in American Towers. Let's go ahead and wrap up this video by looking at the yield on cost the dividend yield for this stock. Alright guys, so we're here at the dividend yield. You'll see that right here is the dividend yield that will fluctuate over time. This is past 5 years. So if you look at 2020, 2019, they were having a dividend yield of like 1.9, 1.5, and so on back in, it stayed all the way like that until about 2022, where the stock started moving downwards and the dividend yield started moving upwards. And you'll see back in the past couple months, it's actually jumped all the way to about the 3%, almost 4%. So might be a great opportunity for entering this REIT if you are interested in it for the long term. I used to be invested in them, but I consolidated my positions into about 12 core positions that I wanted to focus on, and this one unfortunately did not make it, especially because no qualified dividends. But yeah guys, let me know in the comment section if you guys are invested in American Tower. Definitely would love to know, and let me know any other companies you guys want me to add to the list that you guys didn't see. Don't forget to subscribe with that notification. We're trying to get to 20,000 subscriber mark as well. If you wouldn't mind dropping a big thumbs up on the video, definitely goes a long way, costs you nothing, and I definitely appreciate it. But anyways, I will see you guys in the comment sections. Take care, stay safe out there. Bye guys.